break. Hi. Hello, hello. Cleaning my glasses, waiting for folks to jump on. YouTube is alerting the media that I'm here. Good, now I can see. Now I can see you. Who's here? Let's see, let me adjust my screen. Voila. Oh, I'm trying to fix this. There we go. I think that's okay. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, MBJ. Up, we got more people here. Loving it. Hi, Resonation. Danebo, Swift Gabe. First hi. That's great. George Gloomy, good evening from Germany. Oh, it's lovely to have Germany in the house. Terry Knuckles is here. I love it. Baby Gravy. What a great name. And Billy Altez. Hi, guys. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, it's so good to see you. Let's see if I can get rid of that. There we go. There we go. I don't know if that messed with my screen. Hey, Michael, you're here. Lone Hero is here. I think we're good. I love it. Okay, everybody. Hey, Laura, how are you, love? Oh, I love that you're all here. I brought a friend with me today. Hello, Dungeon Wheels. I brought a big crystal. I have a lot of crystals around my house. I love, here, I'm gonna adjust this, see if I can adjust it down just a little bit. You know me, I'm so tech savvy. Hey, Jamie, boy, you're baking up a storm, girl. Hello, Carlos. Oh, yeah, so, hey, Patrick. This is one of many crystals that I have in my house. And for me, I don't know why. I haven't really studied crystals a lot. I would not consider myself an expert, except that my house is filled with them. And they make me feel so good. It's like I keep them in my pockets. And I'm gonna adjust this down just a little bit. Having little screen issues. There we go. We just want to make an actual good screen for you guys. Sorry, my hand is right in the way there. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Code GS Anime Fan and Eric. You can hear my husband out there sneezing away. He's working outside and it is super polleny out here. Hey, Mike. Hi, sweetheart. I'm fine. Oh, hello, Odysseus from New Mexico. Hi, everybody. So yeah, I keep crystals around my house because they're like my friends. I just feel better when one is close by. They ground me. And I definitely felt like I could use a little bit of grounding today. I've been so busy the last couple weeks. I haven't checked in. I've been working on my website and doing all kinds of things. Yeah. So I want you guys to know that even when I'm not here and I'm not talking to you, I am thinking about you and I'm thinking about what to share with you guys. And a lot of times what I do is I'll, like the day before or the day that I know that I'm going to actually drop in here, I'll go over to my YouTube channel community and I'll just drop something and let people know. Usually it's with a photograph or something. And just to let you know that hello, Marlon. And to let you know that I'm coming on. But I think about you a lot because I think like, oh, is this something that I'd want to share? And let me, anyway, so I ask, before I get there, I jump ahead. I have a lot. I'm a bit like a squirrel. There's always a million thoughts running through my head and I'm getting better and better at slowing it down and allowing myself to finish a sentence, to be clear and concise. That's why I brought my little buddy today, because I knew that I could use a little bit of grounding today. So I asked if there were any questions, and I love that because I feel like you guys, this is about you and us sharing together. And I love it. People are jumping on. Somebody was just saying they were going to be at Rangers Stop and Pop in Atlanta next month. I'm going to be at 3 different Comic-Cons. I will start listing. I'm going to put a list up in my YouTube community page about everywhere that I'm going to be. And I think my website will probably be live soon, like the beginning of June, maybe even next week. I'm not sure. I am like a crystal that's never quite finished, and is always a work in progress, which I think is an important thing for all of us. And so anyway, I was asking questions, people to drop comments, and AJ Wyatt asked about renovation. And he, I believe, was asking, I don't have the exact question, because I think it auto-corrected, so it was a little, I think he probably wrote fast. But it was about renovation and how when you're renovating your house, it's kind of like it's a metaphor also for our lives, and when we're renovating our lives. And so I kind of wanted to talk about that because so much is happening in the world right now, and there's so much that's changing, and we're watching things collapse. And I know that I've said this before, but I think I'm going to say it again. When you're building a new house, you have to knock down the old house, because you can't build a house on a house. You've got to start fresh. And I think for us, like my house is, I live in the woods. There's a lot of rain here. The roof is hanging in there, but we need a new roof. So one of the things that we're doing is we're trying to think ahead. We want to put some skylights in to add some light to the house. I know, and we've been discussing this, when we do this roof, it's going to create a lot of chaos in the house, because we're going to be cutting holes in our ceilings in like 5 different rooms, because we're putting in 5 different skylights. And it's going to create chaos. And you have to be willing to live through the dust and the change, and in order to get to that new place, that to have more light, we want to bring more light into our houses. So I think that in our lives, we're all changing, we're all evolving, and we're all growing. And I think that a lot of people are waking up right now. They're waking up to, that's why I call it Wake Up Wednesdays. They're waking up to their hopes and dreams. They're waking up to their dissatisfactions. They're waking up to desires that they didn't know they had before. They're waking up to things that they're seeing in the world that they don't love. And one of the things about, absolutely, John, going from the 3D to the 5D, and that when you wake up, it is difficult, because who you were and what your life was sometimes doesn't fit anymore. And so there's this breaking apart that happens. And so when you're renovating your home, something specific, There's going to be debris, there's going to be dust, there's going to be chaos, things are going to be in weird places. It's not going to be organized. I'm somebody who really loves calm, and I like everything as much as I can in its place, which is new. I wasn't always like that. But space, my space around me is incredibly important. It's how I create, how I calm, how I center, how I decompress, how I grow. I have to have around me some order. It's really, really important. I'm also a Cancer. My birthday's June 29th. And we're crabs. We carry our homes on our back. So I'm the type of person who will go to a hotel and rearrange my room because something's off. I'm somebody who definitely does an organic form of feng shui on every space that I am in. And if I come to your house, I may rearrange a chair a little bit, or fix a picture frame that's a little askew, or do something. It's just part of how I am built. And I think that one of the things that we, like when you want to renovate yourself or your home, it means giving things up. It means letting things that aren't serving you go. And the challenge is, it's sort of the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. It's staying in situations, in relationships, in jobs, in friendships, marriages, physical homes, geographical areas that you're no longer resonating with, that no longer feed your soul. And so you have to renovate, you have to change, you have to move and grow and explore. And it's hard, it's challenging, it's worth it. It's when I'm willing to let go and try something new, almost always it works out. I don't know how it's going to work out. It just does. And I think it's because I have the desire to see things from a positive point of view. It doesn't mean that there aren't things that happen that I don't love, that make me upset, that I'm in disagreement with. But I really am looking for what is working more than what isn't working. And I think we're on this moment on the planet right now where there's a lot that's not working. And it's so seductive. It's so easy to pay attention to the things that aren't working and focus on those and be afraid of those, to muse about it and what if and this could happen, and and to like jump to some negative conclusion about something that is just still a possibility, or an idea that's being floated. It's not actually something that is happening. But we're projecting all of our fears and all of our past, maybe even the things that have happened to us. We're projecting all of that into the future, and it makes it a bumpier ride. Sometimes I find when I just take in information and go, and don't overly focus on it. Just sort of go, that's interesting. We'll see what happens. And just allow it to kind of flow through. There's a wonderful book. Hi, Eric. There's a wonderful book called The Untethered Soul. I've talked about it before. It's by Michael A. Singer. And I recommend it for everyone. It is a book, much like I appreciate the work of Eckhart Tolle. I am not a huge fan of his books because I personally find the writing a little bit dry. But I think the concepts are awesome. There are other books that I gravitate towards more. And Michael A. Singer's The Untethered Soul is one book that has really spoken to me. And it's really about, you know, we have a lot going on in our minds. We have so much chatter. There's so much going on. It's like this little squirrel that lives in your head, or a monkey, at least mine, that is just chattering on about everything. Oh, you know, like, oh, the sky just changed. Oh, there's dust in that corner. Oh, I've got to go do that thing. Oh, what am I going to do about dinner tonight? Oh, I got a call because I've got that thing with the lawyer that I got to take care of. It's just like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm a little thirsty. Oh, what was that sound? Oh, I've got to go out. It's just like a crazy person in there who is not actually me. It's just my thoughts. And so one of the things that I learned from many people, but I have to say that as like a real a book that really spoke to me in The Untethered Soul, is how to untether from those thoughts and how to let them flow through you instead of like, do you ever have a crazy thought and you're like, oh my God, I'm an insane person? Like, who would ever think this thought? Like, that is pure insanity. Oh my God, who are you? And like, that's not you. That's just one of the crazy thoughts going through you. And the way that you know it's not you is that you caught the thought. When I can say, oh wow, that was a crazy thought. Well, if I am the thought, I wouldn't be able to observe the thought. So I am the observer of the thought. So I am not my thoughts. I am separate from them, except when I forget that I am separate from them. And so renovation requires us to break things apart, to break apart from our thoughts, to break apart from our circumstances, to I hope I'm describing this clearly. It means dismantling our environments, our insides, our outsides, in order to create something better for ourselves. And it takes courage. And it takes some practice. And I think one of the things, and I was thinking about this a lot today, is it takes some faith. And, you know, everybody has a different way of thinking, and I have my own, and I think everybody's is very unique and individual to who they are. But I think if you don't have something to have faith in, and I'm not, I'm not talking necessarily about God, because I think religion is something that is very challenging for a lot of people. It can be very divisive for a lot of people. A lot of people have had some very not the most positive experiences with some of the religions that they've grown up in. Some have had amazing. I've always said I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. I would say that I probably, if I was gonna identify with anything, I'd probably be a pagan, because, and I don't even know much about that, but I just love the earth. I love the clouds. I love the sky. I love the plants. I love people. I love animals. I can feel vibration. I can discern frequency. I love being in the ocean and having it toss me around. I love watching the clouds. You know, I was listening to something from Jay Shetty today, and he was talking about, you know, awe, the power of awe, something that stops you in your tracks and helps you understand that you are a part of something magnificent. And so having something to believe in, even if it's you believe in the goodness of animals, or you believe in kindness or love, or I always think love is a great place to go to, because I believe in the incredible healing power of love and what it can do for a person. And so when you're renovating your life, or life is happening in a way, or life is renovating you, it helps to have some faith that that it's going to be okay, that life is going to work out. And it's really, you know, I say it every week or every time I do these, life works out the best for those who make the best of the way life works out. And life is not fair. Shit happens, you know, to so many of us. Bad things happen, things that we never would have chosen consciously for ourselves. And when looked at through a certain lens, we can use these challenges, these renovations, these things that happen to us as opportunities to grow and opportunities to cultivate faith that we're going to be okay, that it's going to be okay. And it's so challenging right now on earth. We've got wars, we've got political division, we've got illnesses, we've got all kinds of shit. We've got supply chain shortages, we have baby food shortages, we have a lot of things up. We have crazy gas prices. People are feeling it, and it makes you, if you pay a lot of attention to it, feel afraid. And that's when, you know, having faith in something helps. It gives you something to hang on to. Sometimes it's, you know, it's faith in yourself, faith in your family, your friends. A lot of times, you know, your friends are your family. I love it. You guys are so smart. You have so many brilliant things to say. But that when we are renovating our lives, when we are being renovated, to just allow that process to happen and just throw it out there that something better is being made out of this, or I can make something better out of this. How many great inventions, you know, through history have been complete mistakes, or things that happened by accident, and it's like, whoa, isn't that like how they discovered Botox? It was supposed to be for like headaches or something, and somebody used it, and I don't know, around a temple, and it tightened up somebody's eye or something, and they went, wow, this has an off-label use. That oftentimes we are challenged, and when we rise to meet the challenge, or we rise above, it gives you so much juice, man. It does. It makes you a more powerful person. And somebody said they're usually pretty negative due to past experiences going badly. You know, that's a really good point. You're not who you were then. You know, sometimes I love this saying. I don't know who said it, but hanging on to the past is like dragging a dead body around in your present now. And I know there's shit that has happened to all of us. And we're afraid that it's going to happen again because it imprinted some form of trauma. And so it's like, oh, this feeling. That's why The Untethered Soul is a great book, because it really does help you when you have those moments when trauma comes up, or like, oh, the past is coming up. The past is coming up and it's threatening this beautiful picture of the future or this experience that I'm having. Give yourself some credit that you've grown from who you were then to who you are now. You are not the same person. And would you be willing to have the courage to let that thing go and not have it inform your present anymore, because you're seeing how it takes the joy out of your moment or out of your life now? It happened. It doesn't mean pretend it didn't happen. It doesn't mean it didn't imprint on you. But now what are you going to do with it? When I use the things that have happened to me as my excuse to not grow or to not go after my dreams, for me, I know I need to look at that. And I know I need to change my mind about that. And the beautiful part is I can. You can. We can. We are not victims of our circumstances. It feels that way. And in many ways, the culture will tell you that that is true. But I would say, don't listen to them. Don't listen to a story that limits you. Don't listen to any narrative that tells you that you are less than your gorgeous, beautiful, divine soul is, of who you can be, of what you are destined for. If we listen to that stuff, whenever I listen to stories that diminish who I am, I've just disempowered myself. I've just stopped my flow. And you know what? It never feels good. Never feels good. And that's an indicator. That is data. You're a supercomputer and you just got some data. If it doesn't feel good, it generally means it might. This is a tricky one. A lot of times when things don't feel good, it's offering you information. And you get to decide, is this not feeling good because I'm afraid and I'm stopping myself? Or is this not feeling good because this is not actually my path? Or is this not feeling good because right now in this moment, I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm just supposed to hang out here and breathe and maybe not make a move. You know, it's nuanced. Life is challenging. And living life as a conscious, sentient being is really challenging, because then you have to question things and you have to question yourself, and you have to be in times of uncertainty and change. You have to renovate, and the house is going to come apart, and there's going to be dust everywhere, and there's going to be chaos everywhere. You know, one of the things when I was raising my children is I wanted to teach them to do their own thinking and to not let other people think for them. And it's so seductive. You want to let other people think for you because it's so much easier, because you don't know. But if you're willing to live in the wild unknown, answers rise from inside of you. Guidance comes from inside of you. Literally, everything you ever need, you were born with. It came with you in a toolbox, and you are just excavating it as you go along if you're willing. And it's uncomfortable. And it's magnificent. You will live a better, more exciting, purpose-filled, joy-filled, on purpose, living your passion, self life. if you do that, and it's challenging and it's hard, and it will mean that you will have to live through some times that are chaotic and dusty and scary and dark. And that is the landscape that you're traversing as you learn who you are wanting to be, who you came to be. And it's a wonderful journey. It gives meaning and purpose to a life that sometimes feels like maybe it doesn't have a purpose to it. All the comments go by so fast, and just as I'm trying to read them, they like evaporate. Anyway, that's what I got this week. Somebody said his cat, Terry says his cat is enjoying listening to me. One of the things that is going to be on my website is I have a blog. The blog is going to sometimes reference these videos. Sometimes I'll go and I'll write about these in more depth, but I'm also recording them. So if you are an audio listener person, you'll be able to just press a button and listen, and you won't have to read. Somebody says I should do a podcast. You know, I really was thinking about doing a podcast. I have friends who do podcasts. They're like, ooh, it's a lot of work. Make sure you really want to do it. I'm also looking for opportunities where, you know, we can interact more. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like. But I really love you guys. I support you. I support your growth. I support your light. I support your hearts. I support you being willing to, if you're listening to this, you are, you know, obviously a seeking person. And I love that you would spend any time at all with me to talk about this kind of stuff, because I think sometimes people can feel a little lonely, a little cut off, and maybe that they don't always have people that they can talk to, especially when you're kind of waking up and you are maybe not sure who you are right now because you are in the midst of a renovation and there's some chaos. There's actually something, you know, the name Goddess on Fire came from when I set my life on fire and when I completely changed how I was living. And it was the hardest thing I ever did, because literally I burnt my life down. And there were people that I loved, you know, my children, my former spouse, my whole life. But I had to do it because that's where my life was calling me. On the other side, in the rearview mirror, I think everybody's happier. Sometimes you're the catalyst. Sometimes you're the catalyst for other people's change. And I think that the people that we're in relationship with, we have soul contracts with and agreements, and that we're here to teach each other. I was actually to dinner last night with some friends, and we were talking about how some of the people that we have the most challenges with in the course of our lives are some of our greatest teachers. Greatest teachers. Some of the people I've had the worst time with, I have learned so much, and I am so grateful. But that's my mentality. That's the way that I choose to look at it. And I would offer everybody, especially if you're feeling like you're maybe a little more negative than you would like to be, that that is a muscle. That is a trait that you can develop. It just takes practice. And you will not be good at it. And then you'll be a little better at it. And then you'll be a little better at it. And then a little better at it. And before you know it, it becomes a habit. It becomes a reflex. So I love you guys. I have got a crazy busy June coming up, but I hope to be back here at least once or twice. And I'll let you know what's going on, where I'm going to be, so that maybe we can connect with each other. I know I should be. I'll be in Atlanta. Where else am I going to be? I'm going to be in Alabama. So 2 A's, and I'm someplace else this month. And I don't remember where it is, but I'll post it here. It'll be over on my website. And who knows, maybe we'll get to meet each other this summer. I'm going to be very busy all the way through to the end of the year, so hopefully I'll be somewhere near you. But if not, maybe we'll find other ways that we can connect with each other, so that I can see your faces, and so that, you know, maybe we can go deeper in this work. Also, I will be doing stuff with actors. My intention is to start doing in-depth weekends in Nashville, where I will be working with actors and artists in an intensive weekend experience. I hope to do it 4 times a year. Hopefully I will get at least one in this year. I know that there's a lot of actors who have been asking for some coaching, some help, some guidance. And I love actors and artists and all people, dogs, puppies, kittens, lizards, bugs. I'm just a lover. What can I say? All right. I love you guys. I will be talking to you very soon. And thank you, MS. That is very kind. All right. I love you guys. And